Hi everyone, it's Adam here. Let's see this right. There we go. I don't know what you're seeing. The house is a mess right now. It's Thursday night. I've had just a really busy week, and it's gonna be a couple of weeks before you see another video. Got a fly in the house. That's just the worst, isn't it? A couple of weeks for you to see another video because on Friday, on Friday the 7th, I crashed my GSA, and since most of you on the channel now that watches videos are GSA riders or dual sport riders, I can't say too much about it right now. I'll let you know what's going on, and then you'll understand why I talk in code basically. But I do plan on sort of discussing a bit more about it once things are solved, and I don't know when that's going to be. That could be December, so sorry about that. There will be a beta video though coming up because the beta is coming back to me this weekend. I'll go through a whole thing about that ordeal, but anyway, sorry. Someone on Monday, a coworker, said, how's your bike doing, your new bike? And I said, actually, I didn't plan this too well because all three of my vehicles are in the shop right now, and I wasn't lying. A couple of weeks ago, I observed that there was some kind of vandalism or damage to the side of my Golf R. I only drive once every couple of weeks in the summertime, so I have no clue when this happened. But basically, it looked like a white paint or something just scraped on the side of it, and it was dented down to the metal, like scraped the paint off of it. So I have two quotes, one for $1,900, which is basically push out the holes and repaint both doors, including some blending, and then another quote which is $3,700, which includes replacing both doors with brand new OEM ones. We'll see how that goes. Both are at the insurance company. This also includes $600 to reapply the OptiCoat to both panels as well from my local detailer. So it's going to be kind of an expensive claim, but I have a nice insurance policy for that. The only difference is really them deciding if they're going to do the doors, or they'll probably do the cheapest, but I'm hoping to convince them to do the doors because it is a Golf R. In my opinion, it's fairly collectible. I know a lot of people don't see it that way, but case in point, I bought the car for $37,000 3 years and 30,000 miles ago, 40,000 miles ago. And it's still worth 30 grand, 28 or 27 on a trade-in. I mean, it holds its value incredibly well, and I don't want to hurt that with damage to the car that was repaired. It's Porter, by the way. The beta is in the shop in Manchester, getting about $1,500 worth of work done to it. $1,500 to a $10,000 bike. That's above the 10% threshold. I usually try to not do work to my vehicles all at once that's of 10% of the MSRP, and that's what we're getting done. So I'll go into that. There was a previous video on that, but I'll go into what happened and why that cost so much money once I get the bike back soon. I also bought a trailer, so now I'm officially one of those dirt bike people that gets around with a motorcycle trailer, and I'll do a whole video on that. And we added a Class 2 hitch to Heather's Sport Wagon, so very exciting stuff there, but no video on that one, just too much work. Okay, so to the GS, I was at the Green Mountain Rally. It was around noon. I had not been drinking. I had tires to put on the day before at a shop. You know, things felt okay. They felt fine. But something was obviously wrong. Those of you that have been riding with me for a long time, last couple of seasons, you know that I'm not, what do you call it, like a hooligan. I'm a very collected rider. I've never gotten a speeding ticket in my entire life, ever, and I'm 32 now. I'm very responsible. I take care of my stuff. I follow the maintenance intervals. I'm really careful, and aside from a few off-road drops, my bikes are not mistreated. So I low-sided in a corner. I called the state police to report it, just so they're aware. Of course, good guy Adam here. Even though there's no damage to anyone else or any property, I still called them to get the coordinates and the time of day, and send them a couple of photos so they have the lat long and the timestamp. And the officer that took the report said that this turn is very, very common for crashes, roughly every month. some motorcycle will crash there, and I can back that claim up because as we were collecting our thoughts, I was with 2 other GS riders who saw the crash. I guess I should get their names. Now that I mentioned it on tape, the intern's probably going to ask for it, so I have to get their names. We found tons of like brake levers, shifters, body panels, windscreens, all kinds of stuff at this turn. I mean, this has been a motorcycle, you know, clinch area for quite a while. So, but again, I'm the one that crashed. The road was, it felt okay to me. The line was fine. We weren't exceeding the speed limit. It's just unfortunate. And the way it worked, I'm gonna turn on here for a second. I was going forward. I went to the left in a turn, then I went right. There's a dip, about a meter drop of a dip, and then a sharp left-hand turn of around 100 degree angle roughly. It's a 45 mile an hour road. We were definitely going under that because it was a turn, a curve, and you know, it wasn't extreme. It wasn't an extreme curve for me. It was completely normal. I've ridden the road before. Playing it all back, I don't know what happened. I truly don't know what happened. The tire pressure was perfect. You know, anyway, I'm getting into the weeds a little bit too much here. Low-sided, slid off the road, did not slide over the ravine. Luckily, I stopped right before I even hit the guardrail, which was good. I was on the guardrail, but I didn't hit it. And the result of this was my $700 Climb Badlands pants that I bought in February were completely sheared up on the left side. Not completely. There's a few things. I'll do a video eventually of that. And then my Adventure Rally jacket, which as you guys know is a $1,700 Climb jacket, was really in fantastic shape, except I have a hole right here where my elbow is, where it just slid across the asphalt. It's a little tiny hole. Like that was the pressure point, but it did not get through the mesh even of both. The mesh and the D3O on both of these were completely intact. Gloves were slightly torn on the pinky finger, and the helmet had a little bit more scuffing on it. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect crash from my own personal health and safety. Really remarkable. After I was done sliding out of my control, I stood up, I picked the bike up, put the kickstand down, looked at my pants, looked at my arm, made sure nothing was torn. After about 5 minutes of looking for my shifter lever, I got back on the bike and went back to the campsite. I don't know the fate of the bike yet, so obviously I called Vermont State Police. I gave them all the information. I got back to camp, spent the night with my friends. Then I got the bike home the next day, completely uneventful. A couple things though, the bike motor turned off. I pretty much am in the habit of hitting a kill switch anytime something weird happens. The motor was off, but the bike's computer wouldn't turn off. The power button was unresponsive. So we didn't do anything. We were supposed to go to lunch. We went straight back to the camp, which was 25 miles. And there I pulled the negative on the battery with a T25, yanked that off in a Phillips head. Yanked that off, the bike died, plugged it back in, the bike woke back up and cranked up, and it's been fine ever since as far. I think it was in some kind of a limp mode. But I didn't turn it off on the way home, which means my ABS and traction control were flashing at me the whole time I was going home, and the oil and external temp sensors weren't registering. It's almost like the computer was dead, but it came back to life fine. And back at the camp, I observed that the right Jesse rack, if I'm facing the front of the bike, was bent up. The silencer was dented. The plastic on both sides of the silencer or muffler was dented. The pivot peg was really messed up on the right side, including pushed into the frame. We were able to push down a little bit to get my foot on it, and then the brake lever was also bent in a little bit, and we bent that back out to where I didn't use the rear brake because they're linked on the way home, but I was able to at least get it away from the frame of the bike. And there's a lot of other scuffing on the left side. Again, this is premature of me, but guys, Altrider, Machine Art Moto, and Climb, fuck, you guys are awesome. I don't know if you're ever gonna see this video. You guys are awesome. The X-Head was completely intact. It was scuffed. I mean, a good millimeter of the X head was sheared off, but we slid like 45 feet on the ground on the side of the bike on the cylinder head. Dude. And then the Altrider crash bars that obviously wrap around, the bottom of that is a little bit thinner now. Like it's almost like, it's tubular, right? The bottom of it was like flat as it slid across. And I mean, in the climb gear, like, guys, I know that the Altrider crash bars and skid plate combo are $950. I know that it doesn't make sense to buy crash bars and then buy $189 Machine Art Moto X heads. I know that it doesn't make sense to spend $700 on fucking pants or $1,400 on a jacket, but I'm here, that's awesome. The whole thing sucks. But I remember going over my coverages on the phone with Geico, and they said they recover $500 reimbursement of your riding suit. You have to buy, I believe they said that to buy the same riding suit again, so $600 plus $1,400. And then they'll reimburse me back $500 when they give them a receipt, and they also take the suit with them. I understand Climb has their own deal. Let's not get into that in the comments. I'm looking into all my options right now. Again, this is really premature. But back to my story. Now, those of you that filed it, this is my first time filing an insurance claim ever. Well, I filed a windshield claim a while back, and then a few weeks ago I did the one for the vandalism. This is my first real crash claim I've ever made in 17 years. That's 18 years of driving, and I've been paying into insurance for 20 years now, or 17 years, and this is my first time I've ever had to use it. And they've gotten really serious on the phone with me. I mean, they're really, like, things are serious now. They're not nice anymore. I said, I know you're not allowed to respond to this, but let me please say that it's really disappointing that my coverages are a maximum $500 for my riding suit. I said, because had I not been wearing the riding suit I was wearing, could you imagine the medical payment I could have had if I had chose to opt out of wearing a really nice suit? Now, could a $500 riding suit, let's say well, you can even get like an Alpinestars riding suit for $500, like a full thing, including the Forma boots, which are $275, and those totally saved me. I mean, the rubber piece triangle on the side, if you have those, was like sheared down to nothing, but that hit before the rest of the boot hit. So anyway, I said, like, it's disappointing that I'm capped at $500 for the suit when without it, I can't imagine the hospital bills. I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you guys now. I'd still be in the hospital with all kinds of broken bones, skin sheared off, dislocated shoulder, collarbone, all kinds of shit. I mean, I don't know. That was disappointing, but they were even had a surprise in their voice when they asked me, "Were you wearing a helmet?" And I said, "Yeah, it's the law." And they said, "Oh, you'd be surprised." I guess so, but holy shit. I mean, these guys are paying out claims for dudes that don't go to annual training for their motorcycle and don't wear full gear. Like, that's... Anyway. Okay. So, here's what's going on right now. It's Thursday the 13th. It's been a week since my crash. My bike is now at a dealership, a BMW dealership that I trust quite a bit. And my insurance company has seen the bike. They're aware that it's broken. They are going to wait for BMW to give them a bill, and they're going to add up my accessories, and they're going to tally that up. I'm covered for more than the accessories are worth, trust me. I have a very good accessories coverage. They were almost, I'll tell that story later. It was a good story. What's going to happen is the bike is repaired over the next 6 weeks, or they give me the value of the bike. I pay off the loan, and then I take an accessories check, and I will do my best to loop that into a new GS, which, you know, on a personal note, it's disappointing because the bike is, I mean, I grabbed it last September. I put a couple thousand miles on it, and then I spent 5 months really making the bike mine. And we're not talking custom fabrication. We're just talking, you know, really becoming intimate with the bike in the best way possible in my basement over the long winter. and then it's taken me all the way to North Carolina, New York, Buffalo. It's taken me across the Trans-Labrador Highway, multiple rallies. It's been 13,000 miles, 14,000 miles in a year. So we'll see what happens. But that's what's going on right now. I have some videos from the Green Mountain Rally. Again, we're not being hooligans, but I'm afraid to put anything up online at all because I really want the insurance to do its job. I promise you guys and everyone involved that there was nothing nefarious. We were just having a nice ride, and we were only an hour into our ride. It wasn't a long day. We weren't tired. We weren't drunk. It's really a shame that that I'm gonna be. September is my favorite month of the year to ride, and I got to ride a couple of days in September, and that's it. So I hope I have a bike back before the riding season's up this year. I don't know. So that's what's going on. I know this is a long video. I'm sorry. I've been thinking all week about how do I want to frame this, and a lot of people told me, don't say anything at all. Just wait till this is all done. But it's just my way of getting out how I'm feeling. What I am thinking. So let's let the process work. And if you guys are mean or anything in the comments, I'll just delete them. I hide a bunch of people. I think I have like 200 people hidden from commenting. So you guys are shadow banned. 200 of you are. I just try to keep that stuff out of the way so I don't see it. And really just let's let the process do its job. The beta will be back Saturday, and I hope I get to ride it a little bit this month. That's it really. So I'm bummed, but it's okay because the bike is it's not my last bike, and I certainly hope it's my last crash. Not for insurance, not for money reasons. It's not about the money. It's about just safety. I'm only 32, and I've never really been through a crash like that before, and it was really it really shakes you up. And the ride home was just like, I felt like it was the first day of MSF again. When you just every little bump in the road is major. And every oncoming car is white knuckle inducing, and it's actually less productive to be stressed out when you're riding your motorcycle. But that's how I felt, and I almost had this fear of not having the same enthusiasm I did, and maybe it's for the best that I am forced to take the winter off, or the fall off from motorcycling and the winter off from motorcycling. So I'm forced to take a 6-month break. Just to be able to reset myself, and then I'll sign up for MSF in the spring. I'll take the intermediate rider's course again on my new bike or this bike, and I'll get comfortable again with an instructor, and I'll feel good again about it. So that's the plan. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being there and watching these videos. I'm sorry this one went long. I probably will try to edit it down maybe. I'm gonna pop this into Final Cut Pro, but all I can show you, I think, is just the photos that the adjuster took, which is so here are the, excuse me. So here are the pants. So you can see here, you've got the shredding there, and you've got the shredding here, and you've got this bucket came off. I mean, honestly, that's not bad. So this is the right peg. It's really concerning. That situation right there is extremely concerning. The alt-rider right heel guard was also bent in. On the left side, we have this. It's kind of sheared down to not much is left there. See how the X head held up? Hope that, actually this is not, I think I'm recording at 60 FPS, and I think this is a 60 hertz refresh, so I hope this is 1:1. You're not seeing the scrolling thing. My handy dandy vice grips that got me home. And then this here is the Touratech final drive guard and final drive slider. And you can't see it here, it's hard to tell, but basically this comes at a point, and it was sheared completely flat. And that alone just shows you guys how this how this whole thing went down. As I slid across this and on this just down the side. You can see some further damage up here, and then it even scratched up my upper crash bar as well. So I was completely sideways because the way the bike fell. And then the final thing is there's the silencer dent and the crack here. This is possibly also, see, this is moved a little bit to the left. That could also be an issue with the frame there. And then finally, you can see here how the Jessie rack is pushed up this way. And then you've got the Billy brake light from Clearwater, was yanked straight off, and I couldn't put it back on without breaking out the tool roll. So I just went home with this. And you can see the silencer, how close that is to the tires. So, thanks for watching, guys. I always appreciate your support and time. And I hope to be back with you soon on the GS, because I really love this bike. It's an amazing machine, and I'm gonna miss riding it this month. All right, dudes, please ride safe. Be careful. Just be careful out there. And you know, before you go on a ride, let people know you're gonna go. Ride with friends. Just be careful, and wear your gear at all times, because you really, you know, you're out for a 25-mile jaunt with your friends. You're having a great time. You're just taking in the sights. You're just having a nice day with your friends on the way to lunch, and you crash. And serious stuff. So peace everyone. Have a nice September. Have a nice fall. And if you're coming up for New Hampshire for fall foliage, let me know, and I'll happy to put you guys up here in the backyard and grill some food for you, and we can talk about bikes, because I'll be pretty bored this month. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you for watching.